Welcome to the Brad and Taylor Show. Today we have Alex Chaar.
You're listening to the Brad and Taylor Show, a podcast that inspires entrepreneurs to pursue their passions. We're sitting down with some of the best to learn how they got started and some lessons they learned along the way.
Hey Alex, how are you doing?
Hey Brad, hey Taylor, I'm doing wonderful. How about yourself?
We're good.
Doing good. Well, let's get this started. Tell us a little bit about you. What do you do?
First and foremost, I'm a husband and a father of two beautiful children, a 4 and a 6-year-old boy and girl. Outside of my family and hobbies, I work full-time as a real estate professional out of Plymouth.
Nice.
I'm under the umbrella of Rich Realty, but I have my own team, which is Chaar Realty. And I serve mostly in Western Wayne County, as well as Oakland and Washtenaw counties.
Awesome. How long have you been doing real estate?
Good question. About coming up on around 8 years, 8 to 9 years.
What did you do before that?
So honestly, I grew up in the South, came up here in Tennessee, came up here in high school, graduated and went to U of M. Graduated high school, went to U of M and got a degree that was kind of a combination of IT and marketing. And I did more 9-to-5 type of work under some companies here in Southeast Michigan. At one point just wanted to change pace, and I've always liked real estate and decided to jump in and never looked back.
I like it. So when you decided to make the switch, did you jump full-time into it, or did you kind of casually go into it part-time? How'd that go?
It was full-time. Yeah. I had heard from, I like to do my research before I take such a big leap. And I spoke to some professionals in the industry, and they said they can barely keep up and serve their clients while working full-time. So part-time wouldn't do myself or my clients any service. So I decided I would hold off until I kind of was 100% sure I can cut the corporate rope and jump in full-time.
Yeah. So how did you make that shift? Was it like you're just like was it long time? Well, it sounded like it's probably more like long time planned out.
It was. So I got the bug, the self-employed bug, if you will, while I was in corporate, and honestly just wanted to do something where I felt like I was serving the end user, or the person that I'm helping out, versus serving the company. Both are good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with one way or the other. I'm a people person. I enjoy interactions with people, and I wanted to feel like I had a direct connection. It just gave me satisfaction to feel like I had a direct connection to help folks out. And so I thought of different options that I could do as a, quote unquote, self-employed business. And I've always been interested in real estate. So kept talking for a couple of years to real estate professionals, and finally said, this is the right path for me, and just jumped in.
Nice. When you were talking to everybody trying to make that decision, am I going to go here? Am I going to stay corporate? Did you get advice that maybe just has stuck with you throughout the first couple of years, or even until now, throughout the whole time?
Real estate related?
It can be anything. It doesn't have to be. Yeah. Did you get any advice that was kind of just like, yes, this is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to stick with this.
Sure. So I guess I'm going to try to split this into 2 parts, maybe kind of personal life advice and real estate advice. Should we take it on that way?
That's perfect.
That's perfect.
All right. So personal advice, there's a couple of things that's always on my mind whenever it comes to just dealing with life, and it's helped me tremendously. One is just having good perspective. Remembering what really matters in life. Our health, our family, our friends, our time. These things are irreplaceable. So kind of to focus on those and give those their true value. We have ups and downs in life. You could have a car accident or lose some money on an investment. or miss an opportunity, I can replace a car. I can, do another work harder and make some more money on an investment, or, look for other opportunities. But my time, I can't get back. My health, I sometimes, some things are hard to get back. And our relationships with our family and friends are sometimes hard to mend once we've lost a chance to kind of spend time and build those. So just having that perspective, that helps kind of give me peace of mind. There's a book by Richard Carlson called Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, and it's all small stuff. Essentially, it was just a book that was about trying to stop the little things from taking over your life. So I try to do that. It gives me peace of mind. It gives those around me peace of mind, because I try to stay in overall a good mood, even through the ups and downs of life. So that's kind of more life, I guess, advice. That's kind of just something that I always fall back on. Work advice: always put your client and customer first. Do everything related to what helps your client or customer as your number one priority, and everything else will follow. It'll quickly become evident what you can do in your business to improve your processes to create a better experience for your clients. The money will follow. Obviously, a lot of people do their business focusing a little bit on money. Like, some people become doctors just to make money, while others will do it just to help others.
Right.
The idea is do put your customers and clients first. Everything else will follow, whether it's the business success or everything else starts to come into order. If everything you do is based on customer and client satisfaction and the best results for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Is that a piece of advice that maybe you got when you first started out in real estate, or is that something that you maybe just learned as time went on in the real estate business?
I think it's something my father used to own his own business, and
Okay.
it's something that my father had kind of talked about early on before I even got into real estate. But it really struck me as being extremely important.
Yes.
Once I actually got into real estate.
Yeah, those relationships are key. So.
Mm-hmm.
Over the last couple of years, what is the worst property or showing that you think you've been to? Does any of them stick out?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. So during the years after the 2009 downturn, I went into a home that had been vacant for years. It had the worst case of mold I had ever seen. The wood floors had all warped, buckled, and popped out of place, just kind of from all the water exposure that they've had in for who knows how long. Every surface was gray or thick black because of the mold.
Goodness.
About 3 minutes of time I spent in this house, I ended up with a 4-day cough because the spores that I breathed in just really held on to my lungs. My client, which was an investor, didn't suffer the same situation, and that's where I learned how sensitive I was to mold. But this house was, the whole thing was falling apart. I don't think it was safe to actually walk in.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it.
Yeah. But I did learn that my sensitivity to mold now helps me when I walk into a basement. A lot of folks want to know if their basement's dry. I'm realizing that my nose can pick up on mold quicker than other people, so that helps me at showings, just to kind of know. Yeah.
That's a good. I mean, it's not good that you have a sensitivity to it, but it's good in a sense that you can help out your clients that way.
Exactly.
They want to know. You're just like, oh, let me just go down there real quick. I can tell you real quick.
Yep.
Did that investor, did he end up buying that house with a mold? No. Okay.
No, I don't know why he spent so much time in it. That was a tear down. That was in a house that should have been.
Yeah.
That should have been considered or listed safely on the market.
Yeah. If you could start all over today with all the knowledge that you have, what is one thing that you would do differently? What's one thing that you would change?
Good question. Both the things, I guess, that we get right and the mistakes that we make in our past, I mean, both of those are needed to kind of build our character or knowledge base or wisdom that we're applying kind of in present day. So I mean, sometimes you need some of those mistakes and things. So you need to experience those. But if there's one thing that I guess I'd do differently, when I graduated from the University of Michigan and started in the corporate world, had I known I was going to end up in real estate, I would have loved to dabble in real estate in one way or the other, whether it's through investment. I know I wouldn't have probably been a great idea to do as a real estate agent part-time, but at least maybe I'm shadowing a real estate agent to learn the ropes, or maybe just do some investment properties. But just to get into real estate back then would have started my building up my knowledge base early on, and it would have just set me up to, when I did finally pull the trigger and then go full time to real estate, I would have already kind of built a foundation.
Yeah, and speaking of you, I'm kind of rewinding here a little bit, going back to the beginning when you first started in real estate. How did you get your first transaction, and how did it go for you?
Oh gosh, I was set up with a mentor at the office I was in, which is a Remax office at the time. And I essentially shadowed him, and he would hand me off to clients that had maybe a simpler transaction to handle. But he was always there to help guide through the process, and that helped a lot to learn the ropes. And honestly, I would say the first real lead that wasn't just like a lead that came from the office would have just been something where I believe it was a friend that needed a house. One of my best friends needed a house, and I helped them look for it and walk them through the full transaction.
Yeah.
Them being a friend, thankfully were patient with me. When I didn't know something, I don't just say I don't, and it's okay not to know, but just it took me some time to research so I can get them the correct answers. So that was a great way to start out with a early transaction.
Yeah. Did the transaction go smoothly? I mean,
Yeah.
with a friend,
Yeah,
I know sometimes it's kind of, there's more pressure.
Yeah.
True. Oh yeah, the immense pressure. A
Yeah.
mentor is a must, I think. You have to have someone that to really fall back on, whether it's a really great and available broker. Some brokers are better than this than others. Or a mentor in the office that you're connected with. If you're starting out, it's really good to have someone that isn't going to be bugged by you constantly asking questions, because it's really important that you do. Obviously, you're dealing with a big transaction for a client. You got to make sure you get it right. So yeah.
I know you mentioned you have a team right now too. Can we talk a little bit about your team? How many people do you have right now?
Yeah. So honestly, it's a growing team. Essentially it's a 2-person team, and we've got a third one that might be joining. He just is in the process of taking his exams right now. So he's new. But yeah, under Chaar Realty, I realized that I'm gonna do better for myself and for my clients in a team environment than I am by myself. So I decided I wanted to go down that path.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
What's one thing that you look for when you're looking to bring on someone to your team? What's one characteristic that you're looking for in that person?
Good question. I want them to, if they care about the customer or the client, they like genuinely care. They would be willing to take on whatever might be necessary. Because it's not one thing, it's a lot of things. It's good character, it's honesty, it's timeliness, it's good communication. There's so much that goes, and just building a really big knowledge base about the industry and continuing your education so that you can navigate the immense amount of unique challenges that each deal brings. So it's not one thing, but if you genuinely care about your customer, you're gonna care to become better at all the different stuff that you need. So really, it's if one thing leads, it's I want someone that would care, not purely someone that's just looking for a job. I don't think real estate's right for that. There's a lot of things where you could be a little bit detached from your work and still be good here, but you're fully involved when it comes to real estate. Your heart's got to be in it every step of the way. So I think that's a big value, and obviously good work ethics has to come along with that, and then everything else can follow.
Yeah, absolutely. I know you mentioned like the timeliness earlier. Your time's very important. Do you time block, or how do you make time for everything going on with this crazy market right now? How do you have time for it all?
I sometimes feel like I don't.
Okay.
The family definitely will tell me that I don't always have enough time. I don't get to spend as much time as I'd like with the family and kids. But that it has its ups and downs, right? In my 9 to 5, if I have a 2:00 soccer game for my son on a Tuesday, I can't go to that. I can't leave my work and go to that easily. Here,
right.
I can plan for that. Obviously, I'm not going to do it every time, but at least there's a chance. So it comes with pluses and minuses. But at the same time, at work, I clock out at 6 p.m., 5 p.m., and I'm done for the evening. With real estate, 11:30 at night, I'm up working on a purchase agreement, right? So it's a give and take with real estate. But yeah, I definitely do block out my time. I use my Google calendar, and every time I have an appointment or something I want to work on, I just block it out on my calendar. And if I don't do that, it would be just absolute chaos. So yeah, you have to manage your time very well in real estate.
Awesome. Well, before we go today, how can people get a hold of you?
So they can email me or reach me through my cell. They can call or text me. My email is Alex, ALEXN, like Nebraska, Chaar, CHAAR, @Rich Realty. .com, or call and text me anytime. Phone number is 313-610-1200.
Awesome. I like it. Hey, thanks for coming on and sharing your story with us today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
Are these working?
All right.
There we go.
Oh, there we go. I think they're working. Should we tell them?
Mine keeps falling. It doesn't like my voice.
What do we got to tell them?
Subscribe.
Subscribe? What do we got to point at? Hey, I think there's a subscription button. Like
it might be there.
It might be right there too.
Somewhere.
Find
it. It's red.
Yeah. And it's blue. It's green. I don't really know.
It's a color.
This mic isn't even attached. Did you plug these in? Well, I guess.
I wonder if they can hear us.
Yeah, I wonder if they hear us. Well, we should probably tell them if they can hear us. We should probably tell them also give us a 5-star review if they listen to on Apple. That'd be cool.
5 stars, review. Guys.
Share it with everybody they can think of.
We won't take 4 stars.
I mean, Taylor, I don't even think these are on. I mean,
I don't think this is working.
This is not working.
Yeah.